Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today. 14 by 14 inch canvas, beautiful sunset sky, crazy textured thick desert mountains, nice little pond down here with all these really detailed little bushes. So you're obviously excited about painting this painting, that's why you clicked on the link. So let's get our colors and our brushes out, and I'm sure you're saying, Josh, I don't have all these MagicFly colors and the Bob Ross brushes and all the stuff that I need. Well, you're in luck, because I partner with Amazon, and now you can go to my Amazon storefront, amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart, and you'll be able to purchase everything that you need, from the easel to the canvas to the paints to the brushes to the knives to the cleaning solution that we use to clean our brushes. Everything that you need in order to paint just like me can be found amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Okay? If you need your Happy Little Landscapes hats, or your apron, or you want to buy this painting or any of the other paintings, the pillows, the phone cases, the laptop sleeves, you know, the flip-flops. I have flip-flops now. It's ridiculous, right? Anything like that, you can get at etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Pick up all your supplies at amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. And let's get ready to rock and roll, put our paint on our palette, and throw our aprons on, and let's get ready, just like this. Hey guys, we're back again. Today we're going to be creating a scene right out of our head on a 14 by 14 inch canvas. We've already primed the canvas with Bob Ross liquid white. Gotta have the liquid white on there in order to get these thick oil paints to blend. You can find the liquid white on amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. You know, let's get right to it. Gonna go with our Bob Ross 1-inch brush. We have all these different colors from the MagicFly set and the Bob Ross set. Starting with MagicFly, we have silver, violet, purple, cobalt blue, the lemon yellow, the yellow green, emerald green, the mid yellow, orange red, rose, and magenta. Those are all from MagicFly. And then for the Bob Ross colors, we have Van Dyke brown, sorry, not the Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, phthalo green, sap green, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, titanium white, bright red, yellow ochre. And I think that's it for the Bob Ross colors. So you guys know me, I love doing, when we're doing our regular scenes instead of a space scene, I love doing like a sunset-y sky. So we're going to take our 1-inch brush, go right through the bright red and the yellow ochre down here, or just sort of make up this kind of beautiful orangish yellow color with a little pink, a little bit of red, a little bit of everything in there. And the more yellow you add, the more yellow it'll be. The more red you add, the more red it'll be. And remember, you don't have to, yours doesn't have to look like mine, right? It's very difficult to get the same amount of paint that I'm using on my brush onto your brush, and it'll very rarely ever look exactly the same, so don't worry about it too much. And what we're doing is just kind of crisscross strokes, just like this, to help blend everything together, just in fast motion, right? I'm going to come up into our crimson. Love this crimson-y color. Go over the sides, because we always finish on the sides, you guys. You got to finish the sides. Never know if your buyer is going to frame your painting, or leave it unframed, or hang it when they're coming down the stairs or down their hallway. You don't want to have these unfinished edges. At least I don't. Come up like that. We're sort of making this U-shaped pattern for this one. Again, I always come down further than you think you need to, just because, you know, you don't know where your sky is going to be. Especially when you paint with Josh, we just make it up as we go along, right? Let's go into a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the black. Not a whole lot on the brush because it's very strong on the canvas here. And then we'll come in and we'll get this mixed with our alizarin crimson, because we haven't washed the brush yet. And we get this darker sort of purpley color. And we're going to cover over the whole top with that color. Keep the whole top covered. And that way, no matter where somebody hangs this painting, you're going to have color along the edges, on the side. That's how I like it anyway. There we go. A little bit more of that crimson, black, and blue, just to make this top a little bit darker. You guys know me, I love my dramatic skies. Gotta be dramatic, gotta give you something to look at, right? And when you paint with me, the sky is just as important as the rest of the painting. If you don't have a good sky, guys, you're not gonna have a good painting. Okay, why don't we just cover the bottom, the rest of that purpley color. Because we never know what we're going to do. Maybe there'll be some water, maybe there'll be some dirt, maybe there'll be some snow. We're going to kind of let the canvas tell us where to go with it. So if you drop these colors in there, whatever it turns out to be will be some shadows for our painting. Just like so. Get this whole nice, beautiful painting of all these beautiful colors, right? I mean, shoot, you can just leave it just like that. Throw some clouds in there, call it done. You have a skyscape, right? Mix all that up. Always got to cover the bottom. Cover on the top. Then we'll come in with our 2-inch brush, which you can find Amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart, right? Start in our lightest area here. And just sort of blend these out. Blend them together. And then once I come out here into my dark area, I don't want to come back into my light area. Blend those out, back and forth, back and forth. There we go. Get over here, sucker. Alright, now we can lock that down. And let's throw some crazy clouds in there, right? Again, we're going to go with our crimson, black, and blue mixture. Just want to chisel it down, just like the edge of a knife, this brush, right? And chisel them down nice and small. And then we'll come up here, and we'll just chuck this big old cloud in over here. He's just coming down. Lives back in here. Then we got a softer cloud, goes back there. And you guys know me, I love my dramatic skies. Nice little soft sucker. Maybe this guy comes down in here. Maybe we got a little bit more. Just love playing around with these things. And the best part is, it doesn't have to look like anything you've ever seen before. It doesn't have to look like mine. It could look however you want it to look. It is your painting, right? I come in with our 2-inch brush, just start making circles, just very lightly. I don't want to blend out all of the cloud distinction back there, right? I want to have a little bit of difference in color, so we'll just blend it out a little. Take these guys, sort of blend them down a bit. Blend them down, blend them up. Now we've got a little bit of light just kind of shining through our dark, stormy clouds, right? Dramatic clouds. We go back and forth, side to side. And now we've got this really cool sort of dramatic sky that's coming in like that. Take our palette knife, which you can find Amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Just grab our white here. I'm just going to kind of drop a little bit of white in on the edges of the clouds. Just see where we go. See what it looks like when we get done. Not too much, right? Because when we blend it, it's going to blend with that purple. And we don't want it to all blend away. A little bit of white there. A little bit of white back there. Just nice and soft. Ooh, I picked up a little bit of that that Phthalo green in there. Over here, over there. They don't have to connect. You just sort of make them however you want to make them. I'm going to take a second to wash our brush. We use Jasco brush cleaner around here, which again I've listed in my Amazon store. You can find the exact same brush cleaner that I use. And then we've got our trusty old beater bucket for anyone that hasn't seen it before. Just a 5-gallon bucket with a golf ball basket down the bottom. And that just helped me beat the devil out of this brush and keep my house nice and clean, right? Nice and clean brush. And it dries it off quite well as well. But I always take and just dab it on a paper towel. You want to make sure that it's nice and dry when you come up to do these. And then we're just going to very lightly, just very lightly. I can't stress the amount of lightness that you have to touch, right? Very lightly, 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 kind of just mix up that paint, just so it's not in the line of the palette knife that we put down, right? Very lightly, like I'm just barely touching it, just barely. Then come back with our 2-inch brush. I'm going to swipe up across the whole thing, and come to the side, or this side, doesn't matter, whichever way you're more comfortable with. Now we've got these kind of soft, far-off clouds with a little bit of light hitting them in different places. And you can just keep playing with these until you like the way that they look. But always remember, go up, then come to the side. And that'll just soften them down. Make them real far off in the distance. Alright, in order to make our mountains, again, black, blue, crimson, my 3 favorite colors that we use here. Just mix them up into this nice dark, the paint will look black when you get done mixing it, but it'll have these 3 colors in there. So it's not, never just straight black. Right, come in, pull it out as flat as we can get it. Come in and scrape it up. And leave us a little roll of paint on our edge of our knife over here. And then why not? We can just come back. Why don't we put like a far off bit of mountain back here. It comes over, comes down. Again, yours does not have to look like mine, right? It's got this flat top edge, just a soft little sucker. Nice and bumpy though. You don't want to have these kind of pyramid, pointy mountains all the time. They look cool some of the time, but for the most part, you want to have some imperfections in your mountain. All right, let's throw that off there. We're going to grab our 1-inch brush and just very lightly again, just kind of pull down. Not hard, very light. Maybe this guy comes over this way. Just kind of fades off into nothing. You can see the more you pull down here, the softer it gets, right? You got this nice crisp edge up at the top, and then down here it gets nice and soft and foggy. Like you can't even tell where it's going, right? We'll come in, we'll make up a larger one. You know what we should do before that? Let's take a little bit of brown, a little bit of white, and we'll just highlight these suckers one at a time. Okay, a little bit of brown, a little bit of white, pull them out. Come in, all of our light looks like it's coming from over there, so why don't we come in and we'll just add a little bit of this brownish color. Throw some of our shadowy color back in here too. Don't need to cover everything. Right? You want to have bits of your purple mountain kind of shining through there, bits of your dark shadow, and then of course your highlight color. Right? Maybe it comes down, it's got a little lip over there. Pulling it straight out over here. Just like so. If you guys on Amazon want to learn to paint just like this, right? Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/happylittlelandscapes. And you can learn to paint scenes just like this. When in YouTube we zoom in, we show you all the details, back and forth, zooming in and out, puts text writing all over the screen, stuff like that. It's a much more in-depth video than the one you're watching right now, where you're a little bit further away. Might be a little bit harder to see the details and stuff. So go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/shop/happylandscapeart. youtube.com/c/happylittlelandscapes. That's where you can find me on YouTube. There's a bit of shadow in there. Comes down, and we'll take our 1-inch brush. We'll just sort of swipe up in the direction that we laid the paint down, and all that does is just sort of blur it at the bottom, right? These blurry bits, you don't have to worry about what's underneath. Now we got this nice little soft little mountain back there. And it looks like we're going to be in the desert this time, you guys. Which is fun. I haven't done a desert painting in a while. Okay, going to come back to our little mountain mixture. And maybe the mountain that lives over here is a lot closer than the one back there. So it needs to be taller than that mountain. Taller than our first mountain. And then again, we're just kind of dropping in this color. And all we're worried about is just what the top edge of our mountain looks like, right? Comes down over here. We can pull the rest of it kind of down. That way it'll mix in when we go to pull it out. I like dropping a couple dark spots here and there, and so when you pull it out, you'll get these different colors that just happen all on their own, right? Come over this way. I know we got this bit of desert back there. You can even take some more of this brown, kind of put it back in here. There we go, just to fill in the spaces. Take our 1-inch brush again. This time we're going to cover over the edge, cover over the side of this canvas here, so not to get in your guys' way for just a second. There we go. And you can see where you've left these little bits of extra paint, you get these darker shadows, lighter areas, and that'll kind of tell you where you can highlight your painting, where you want to highlight the mountain, right? Pull it down like this. Maybe it comes over here. You never know. Now we've got this much more up-close mountain than the one that's back there, right? It's all about perspective. If I made this one shorter than that one back there, it would look like it was much further away. Okay, we're going to come back in with our shadows, which is just the same paint that we created this mountain out of. I'm just going to drop them on with the knife. You can see how we hold the knife, right? Just mainly right here where it connects to the handle, and then like this. And you want to have it on the same angle of your canvas. If your canvas is tilted back, you know, at a 45 degree, hold it at that angle. If it's flat on the table, hold it flat against the table. And the trick is going quickly, right? Once you get the paint up there, just dropping it down quickly. The faster you go, the more cool little breaks it's going to do on its own. Right? And don't try to overdo it. Don't try to, you know, sneak a bit of it in a certain place. If it doesn't want to go in that spot, it just doesn't want to go there. So just let it be. Right? Cover it in with those shadows, and then we can come back in and add our little dirt-covered highlights over the top of these shadows. It's much easier when you're a beginner if you do your shadows first, I think, because you've got, you know, once you've done your highlights back here, it's a lot more difficult for a new painter to come in and try to just fit the shadows in these little tiny places. So do your shadows first, and then go over them, and then you'll be able to just let it rock and roll, right? Now these ones I didn't mix with as much white, so that the brown paint is a little bit darker. Okay, and then we can come in and just kind of go over those shadows just slightly. And that way, they'll sort of mix in. You'll leave these darker areas of our mountain, and then the real dark little bits of our shadows that we have there. Kind of go over the side of it, and just like that, you've got this shadowy mountain, right? Our sun is back here behind this cliff. That's why it's lighting this one up, and this one's a little bit darker here in the shadow. Some of that brown. And just drop it in just random places. I mean, especially when your whole mountain's in a shadow, you don't have to worry about a whole lot. All right, get a little bit more of that brown. And you just drop it on. And let it flow outwards here. And once we get down to the bottom, it's going to mix in with the liquid white that's still on the canvas, and it's going to make it brighter all on its own. So again, we can come up with our 1-inch brush in the same angle that we laid it down, going about halfway up the mountain. Just kind of blending these in. And then why don't we take these and we can pull some of this brown right out into our dirt down here. Now maybe we got this nice pretty pond right here that's kind of reflecting all these sky colors. In order to do that, I want to have a couple reflections of my clouds in here. Don't need a whole lot. Just want to have some reflections back there. And we're going to cover over them with stuff anyway, so. I'll throw a little bit of white. Just kind of get it down there. Just very lightly mix it up. Because down here in our water, we're going to be doing a lot of smushing back and forth. So you just want to very lightly just mix it up. Pull it to the side, and now we've got reflections of our sky down into our water. Let's see. If we're going to have something, have some desert back there, we're going to have some deserty bushes, right? Some kind of something. Maybe over here behind the mountain it's a little bit darker. Kind of covering it in back and forth, going across the sides. Gotta finish the sides, guys. There we go. Maybe right up here to our... The reason I'm doing this back and forth is because I want all these different colors. I want a lighter brown, a darker brown, some of this dark in there. You know, it makes these little hills and drop downs and stuff. Get that over there. We could even do another bit of a mountain over on this side too. We could could do whatever we wanted to do. Alright, get a mountain up here. I don't like those sharp edges though. Don't want a pointy mountain top like a pyramid. I just don't like them. Doesn't look as realistic when it's nice and pointy at the top like a pyramid. Okay, maybe this bit of mountain comes down in front of that bit of mountain. You never know. You do whatever you want. Your painting can look literally however you want it to look. Right, you got this bit that comes down here, covered over on the side. Maybe this comes down in front. Grab a little bit more of that paint. Come down over here. Now we got these two different bits of mountain. You know, one is kind of living in front of the other one. Making it like that. We can come back again with our black, blue, crimson. Get our little shadowy colors. All right, drop our shadows in. Maybe this guy's got like a little ridge that lives down this side. Put a shadow in over there. The shadows on our sides over here. Again, not covering everything. You want a bit of dark shadow in there. Then we'll come back, a little bit of white, a little bit of brown. Mix those two up. Come in here, just start dropping in our bit. We got this cliff that lives over there now. Little of this, little of that. Come dropping it on. I want to just mix these in just a little bit, just so we can see that there's a difference in that brown color from one side to another side. And now we got this little cliff that lives off in the back there. Super easy, guys. If you're like, oh, painting must be hard, right? It's really not. It's really not that bad. Some of these shadows deep in here. You just got to kind of do it. Just do it and see what it looks like. If you don't like it, you can always change it, or paint over it, or start over again. You could scrape it all off. You could paint it black. Then you could do a space scene like the ones we have up here behind us, right? Totally up to you what you want to do with it. You do not have to worry at all. A little bit darker back here. Again, I want to have this bit of light area to help us, you know, realize maybe we can connect these two mountains. That would be cool. See, when we paint with Josh, we just make it up. Let the canvas tell us what to do, right? That is my whole painting philosophy. We start with the sky, then the sky tells us where we should put the mountains, and the mountains tell us where we should put the trees, and the trees and then the water, and this, that, and the other. Right? Maybe this guy comes up and he connects in with that dark bit right there. Now we got this whole little bit that's just connected. Lives in there. Might not even have any bushes. This could just be a deserty mountainscape, right? We'll bring this one down a little bit. Then we can always come back in and add those textured highlights and stuff, right? Come back in, drop these down just a bit. Pull them down, and now we got these two bits of mountain that kind of look like they wrap around and go back up, which looks really neat. If you were to ask me, all right, so we're sort of running out of our brown. You know what you could do is take the green and the crimson and just mix these up really good, like really good. Really want to mix them up, and that'll make this beautiful brown color. Throw some of that red in there too. It's beautiful brown color. Just from mixing up those two. And that way we don't have to go back to the box and get more brown out. We've got our brown right here. And the cool thing is it'll be a different brown. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. Maybe a little bit of sunshine is just hitting right on the edge of that. Pulling down like this. That looks really neat, you guys. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that looks frickin' awesome. Maybe a little bit of fog down here, just by tapping it. And then that'll give us somewhere we can put our really colorful bushes and stuff, maybe around this little pond, right? So, what I want to do for those is, why don't we we'll make some really big, like really textured bushes, because we have all this paint that was left over from another painting. So we might as well make it nice and thick and textured, give all these cool little details. And we'll have like this little desert pond, this little oasis down here where all the animals come to get their water in the hottest part of the summer months, right? So how we're going to make our bushes is we're going to take our 1-inch brush, we're going to pull through that big pile of paint, just kind of dab it in. And that's going to leave all these goopy, real thick bits of paint right on the end of our brush, right? And then we'll come up here, we're going to turn, the way that we went down, we're going to turn the brush over, and now we're going to push up. And as we push up like this, it's going to spread out, and it's going to give us all these cool little bushy effects. Look at all that. Look at that. It's fantastic. All these little leaves, and all this stuff that we couldn't do on our own. I mean, it would take you hours and hours to try to do that. Right? So push it in, dab it into the brush like that. And you want these bits to be really thick and textured, right? Give all these cool little effects of these bushes. As they come down over here, maybe they get bigger on this side. Come back in, we're going to grab more of that paint, dab it in. And we got these bigger bits of bushes that live over here. Right, maybe we can reflect some of these down into our water just by doing this real lightly. And I'll show you guys. You're like, oh, you're covering over all the water, right? Just relax. I got you. Don't worry. But you want the paint to be super thick. You want it to stick. You want to be able to see it from the side of your canvas. And that way when we go in with our highlight colors and make all these pretty bushes, then you know, the highlight paint will stick into all of these little areas, and it'll give us these really cool, look. Okay, let's cover over down here. All right, we're going to take our 2-inch brush now. We're going to decide where our land lives. We're going to push it in and just pull it down. All right, we got this little pond. It's back in here. You can see I've done mine on this sort of an angle, right? Maybe a little bit up here. And it kind of comes down, and we'll take these and we'll just swipe them over. Swipe them from the side. So now we got a bit of our reflections of our bushes, and then we've got a little reflection of our sky as well. Now we can come in with that brown, or our dark color also, or reds, blues, blacks. Might as well use them all. Mix those up again. Come in, and we're just going to make like a little bit of land that lives in here, right? Just by pulling sideways with our knife. Pulling sideways, maybe that one comes down there. We're not trying to cover up all of our shadows or our reflections in the water. We're trying to cover up all those suckers, right? We get this land that just lives out here. Nice dark colored. Almost looks black, I'm telling you. And it comes out over there. Again, I don't want to cover up all of my reflections. Then we'll come in, we're going to take the white with the rest of our brown here. Again, we're in the shadow, so it doesn't need to be super bright. Right? Take that, just come over the top of that dark. Remember not to cover up all of your dark. This side, we're coming this way. We don't want to cover up all of our dark bit of land down here. Okay? Oh, it really looks cool sometimes if you take over here, maybe we'll pull down. Just pull down a little bit on this side, like there's a little shelf everything over here is sitting on. And then as we get over here, we're going to leave this dark colored line just like that. And then you're going to watch what happens. Are you watching? All right, we'll come in, grab us some liquid white, make our water line out of. We're going to come in like this, and just at the bottom of that little shelf right here, we're going to pick up, kind of deposit some of that water line. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember. They don't have to touch, doesn't have to do anything. If it's touching and everything is the same width everywhere, then it's not going to be realistic, okay? come in like that, kind of spread out some of that dark that we had, add a little bit of our liquid white to it, and we'll get this little water line around our odd shaped little shoreline, right? Maybe some of that comes out there, throw a wave in out here, and it's looking really neat. All right, we're gonna wash this brush off real fast. And here's where we're gonna use all those beautiful colors, right? We're gonna use our Bob Ross liquid white to fill and kind of make it stick to all this thick paint back here, okay? So if you guys are like, Josh, I don't have Bob Ross liquid white, you can go to my Amazon store, amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart, and get the canvas, the easel, the brushes, the liquid white, all the paints, the Bob Ross paints, the MagicFly paints, everything that we use to create these paintings can be found on Amazon, right down there in my shop, okay? If you guys wanted to purchase this painting, or my hats, or the t-shirts that I have, or any of the other paintings, the prints, the pillows, the phone cases, the laptop sleeves, go to etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart, and you can purchase anything that I have there. The more that you guys support me in my store, the more canvases I can buy, and the more free videos I can bring to you guys, okay? We're gonna go through, we're gonna get a little bit of liquid white on the edge of our brush, and then we're gonna come in and decide, you know, what colors we wanna use. Same kind of thing, pulling down in one direction, and then we're gonna flip the brush over, come up, and just start tapping in, but we don't wanna cover everything, right? Don't wanna cover, you wanna have these little bits, these little areas where there is dark in between your color. Dab that off on a paper towel, a little bit more liquid white, and we're gonna come in, we'll come into the lavender and the violet, get them both on there. Maybe down in here, there's a little bit of these lavender bushes, right? Again, we're not touching everywhere. I don't want anything to touch. The more black you cover, the less depth you're gonna have, okay? You wanna have that dark color down there. Let's go over here. We'll go into these greens and yellows, so super bright, right? Dab it in. And we got a little bit of yellow color on these bushes back here. Totally up to you what you want to do, right? Totally up to you. It can look however you want it to look. But I've got all these crazy colors. So with all these crazy colors, we're going to make all these crazy colored bushes. Come into the yellow ochre. Dab it in, turn it upside down. Right? Again, we're leaving areas of dark in between our colors. Gotta have dark in order to have light. So don't cover it all. All right, a little bit of green back there, just wherever you want. There's a fiery spit of red bush over here somewhere. A little bit of red mixed in. Different places, right? Different places, different colors, and you get these really cool little bushes. Again, we're not covering all the dark area, especially down around the bottom. You want it to be dark, okay? Right here we sort of went across our land, so we'll come in, just do that. Get rid of that. Over here we got a little bit of coming straight down. Angles are most important, right? All these are going to the side, and then these ones on our little cliff are coming straight down, and that gives you the effect that it's kind of falling down in there. You can take just a little bit of white and just kind of line the top of that cliff. Just give it a little bit of color so people can tell there's a little drop off right there, right? Got all these bits over here. Come in a little bit more with our liquid white. Make these little random things. Water is definitely a random thing. You don't want it to be, you know, straight or perfect. You want to have these little random areas that kind of look imperfect, actually. All right, what we can do now is come in with our knife, just push real hard and kind of scrape in some sticks and twigs down in between these bushes, right? Just areas where stuff is being held up. And they can be anywhere you want. can do a lot of them, you can do a little. I usually try to pick my dark areas so they stand out. And come in like that. Just literally anywhere. The more you do, the cooler it looks, but don't do too many, right? You can even have one come straight up out of the bush, like there's a stick that's just growing straight up out of the sucker, right? But the more you do, the cooler it's gonna look. And right now, guys, that looks like a fantastic painting. I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. You can always go back in with your water if you don't like your water lines and stuff. Go back in, mix it up, do whatever you want. You can even take some of that dark color that we have still, and you can put a big rock in there. Totally up to you what you want to do. Some of the times I'll get down and I'll look at my palette and go, man, I still have, you know, this much paint. Maybe I'll throw a rock in or you know, add something down around the bottom. A little boulder. Shoot, you can even do one right here too. Alright, just like that. Come back with our liquid white again. Just kind of go along the edge. Right here, this guy maybe he's only got a little bit on the edge right here. Just like so. We'll take that and swipe it over a bit. Totally up to us what we want to do with it. Come in with our brown, the last bit of that brown. Maybe throw some of the yellow ochre in with that brown, makes it look really neat. Stay on the sides of our rock that have the light, which means that you're not covering over all of your rock, right? It starts to look really cool, and then you want to cover over it, and then you lose that effect of all that depth. You don't need to cover the entire rock. You want some of it to be dark. Same thing with these. You want to have some dark in there, otherwise there's no depth to your painting, right? And that looks really fantastic, you guys. So, just how long we've been filming? About 37 minutes. We can cut that down a little bit. But just in that small amount of time, we made this really cool painting with, you know, a lot of colors, but didn't take a lot of work to get it done. So I'm going to throw my signature in. I like painting my family into every painting that I do. And we do that with these 3 birds. All right, that's me, my wife, and my little daughter. Into every painting that I do, you'll have these 3 birds in there. Just ran out of liquid white. We're going to sign the sucker. Let me put it down here. Just like that, guys, we got this finished painting. Didn't take us long at all. And we kind of made it up as we went along, and it turned out really, really good. So if you want to learn how to paint this painting, of course, follow my channel. You can find me on Facebook at Happy Landscape Art, which will take you to Happy Little Landscapes. You can search at Happy Little Landscapes on Instagram and find me there as well. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Amazon Live. I'm on just about everything you can think of, okay? So I want to say goodbye to you guys. I really hope you try this painting. Nice little simple, easy painting that we knocked out relatively quickly with this cool little desert scene. And it was really fun to kind of show you guys how to do it. So follow my channels, follow all my stuff, and then, yeah, we're going to catch you guys on the next painting. Bow! I guess we're doing another take. Because you clicked on the link. So, my goodness. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today. 14 by 14 inch canvas, beautiful sunset sky, crazy looking desert with all these wickedly textured mountains, and this beautiful little pond down here with all these beautiful, why am I saying beautiful so much? Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today. 14 by 14 inch canvas, beautiful sunsets. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes. Today we came back with a 14 by 14 inch canvas, beautiful sunset, all these wicked crazy desert mountains, and these beautiful little... Alright, let's do this again. And the bloopers. Alright, let's try this again. I got all this pressure from the Amazon people watching, right? That's okay, thank you for sticking with us with our oil painting project, right? Nice little pond down here with these beautiful colored bushes. Oh my God. Now every time I say beautiful, I want to stop. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes. At least we'll have a good amount of bloopers for this one, won't we? We'll have a lot of bloopers for this one. Every time I do a video, there's at least 2 or 3 minutes worth of bloopers because I can never get it right on the first take. It doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, there's always something that happens. All right, last time. I may end up just using those other takes, but we'll see.